Okay, I wanted to point out something to you, and I'm going to use this dust jacket as a good example. So something like this is very easy to determine what is the more valuable part of it and what part of it doesn't matter. So if you have documents, sometimes they're equally valuable on both sides that you want to protect, so you have to be careful where you put your paste or where you put your wheat paste to try to show as much, do as little disruption as possible. But on something like this, where you have basically one side that is the good side, you'll be repairing things from the back. And so if this were the case here, if I were going to repair this, I would be putting my wheat paste and things like this on the back, and then on the front it would look so much better. So just be aware, check out what you're doing first. So one of the, I was two different things here. I'm going to show you how to do a, this is a full page tear out. So the page has been torn out, and you could fix this the same method that I did with the tiny little tear. You put your tape over, or your paper over here, put paste on it, and then pick it up and move it to that. Now that would be more difficult in something like this, because I've got a little problem here. I'm trying to fit this together like a puzzle, and this is very thin and skinny and long, and it could be a mess. So in a case like this, what might be easier, and I'm not going to do the whole thing, I'll just show you what you can do with Japanese paper. It's pretty cool, is you can get everything in order, get it in place, and then what you can do with your wheat paste, and I've let it dry out again, is just, you can basically do it while it's in place. My assistant has given me water, thank you. And so you can, and I won't do the whole thing, but you can just see that you can just, and you're going to do it the same way, just very gently put this on there. But instead, you're doing it in place. So instead of, and you're going to be doing, see, and that's what happens. And you would do the entire thing in place, just very gently glue your paper that way. And so I would go all the way up. It just makes it easier. You don't have to fit 3 pieces together like a puzzle. And I did make a mistake. Normally, I was going to show you what to do here. One of the things you can do with your wax paper to get a nice straight edge is fold it. And so normally I would have put this in here first, snugged it up against there, and that was my original plan. But then I would have put this on here, okay, and gone all the way up. And then in that case, so let's pretend I've gone all the way up. I'm going to leave this wax paper in there. I would put another piece on top of it, and that is just to keep it from sticking together, to sticking to this page. I would close my page, put my weight on there, come back and check it in an hour. And I've got this big long tail here. You would tear that off. You could tear that off, and then when it's on these edges like this, the inner edges, it's very difficult to turn those over. But on a page like that, where you're doing an entire page, if you can at all, do that. Put a little extra so that you can turn it back. It just gives it makes it more stable. And then if you'll also notice, you're going to work with your work here. So it's obviously this is a nice flat surface here when I'm trying to put this page in, as opposed to trying to put it in, if I were trying to put it in like this on top of the fold. So you're just going to work with it. A lot of it is common sense. So it looks really ugly, but again, this is just a throwaway. But I am going to do this so that I don't lose all of that. Okay, the next one is we're going to work with PVA. So we have two things to do with the PVA. The first one is I'm going to tip this in. And so what tipping in is when the entire page comes out. We've all had those books where they become unglued from the spine and the page just comes out. They might come out singularly, they might come out in several, but you'll have to put those in. And so one of the ways is what we call tipping in, and you're going to use PVA for that. My brush, a little bit better. So two ways to do this. I'll show you the way that's the hardest, the first. So I'm getting in my PVA and with a small brush, and this makes it difficult to do. You can just along the very edge of that. Well, you can see how that's not necessarily ideal, because then I've got glue might be dripping down on the edge. If your paper is nice and firm, that's possible to do that. And sometimes, if you can just go like this and go like and do it, that might be easier. And then basically what you do is you tip it in. You just stick it in like this. Now I haven't done the whole thing, of course, but now see what you can't tell because the camera's not that good. But now by messing around, I've been shaky and I've jerked around a little bit, and I've got glue now on my pages. So actually, the best way to do this is to take your straight edge, put it right up, just give a little tiny bit of space there, and then you can take your PVA and you can run just a very thin bead down that center. And this is better to do this because you have control over your glue, you have control over your paper. You're not going to, have your paper and then go, oops, I just got glue everywhere. And so you have better control this way, and then you can put it in there. It's just and it's less dangerous as far as getting glue everywhere. You can see how that works very nicely. My bone folder is right here, so I would use my bone folder to spread that in there, make sure that it's in good shape. And then I would do what we always do. I would put my wax paper in there, make sure it's snugged in there good. And then PVA takes a heavier weight. You're going to put either big heavy books or presses or something like that. It takes a little more weight. And I would check it in an hour, just like you always do, and make sure that it's doing well, that it's okay. You don't have to readjust it. So that's called tipping in. And it looks like I've really messed it up. I haven't. But when you do that, make sure you get it straight. Make sure that it's not crooked or something. That is where your T-square can come in very handy. So we're going to end right here on this one. I've got one more thing to show you, and I need a little more time than what my camera will allow. So we'll be right back.